Good morning. Monday morning coffee. Take two. Let's see if this works this time around. I think it's working. Gosh. I really don't like this new video producer from Facebook. It's not working well. Facebook, your thing's not working well. Every time I use this, it was not good. It was not to par. I don't know about you, and if you think that this is good, I mean, give me a comment, maybe like, I don't know how to use it, but it's not working good for me. Not a fan, not a fan at all. Well, if you're here, if you're with me, just drop me a comment in the video comment. Let me know that you're here. Give me an emoji, thumbs up. Yeah, no bueno. Well, here we are. What I was saying to you, and yeah, I really want you. Hi, Paulina is here. Guillermo Perez here. Good to have you here. Greg just came back. Like, apology for the people that was here before and you were intending to see and communicate and share. Mel, bonjour, comment ça va? From Ontario, Canada. So, I mean, this is a big day in Canada because hockey's back. And if you don't know about Canadians, I mean, hockey is like a religion. Barbara is here. Good morning, buenos dias. And today is the opening of the training camp this morning. And that means that we're going to complete the season. And that is exactly one other thing. Like, if we are taking things for granted, because, well, hockey for me was part of my life, watching my team. Even being in Europe, I was setting up, waking up a little earlier, like with my family, so then I could watch it while that they were still sleeping and didn't bother anybody. But if we do take things for granted, then we are not realizing all the good that we have right here, right now. And this is as well learning to live in the now. Are you really living in the now, or your mind is always about, oh, this is what I'm going to do? And this is something that I'm teaching. I'm teaching of having a great goal and working toward your goal and so on and so forth. But this is just to give you that sense of direction, because if you don't have direction, you're floating. And a lot of people are floating. I would say 95% of the population is floating. And you might listening to this right now, and you might hear me and it's just like, yeah, that's not me. Well, ask yourself the question. Like, do you have a clear defined goal? Do you know why you're waking up in the morning? Do you know why and what you're doing? Where is this bringing you? But at the same time, when you do have all those goals, are you very much living into this present moment? Are you taking things for granted, or you're truly in the moment, appreciating everything that you have? And as I was saying earlier, there's a friend of mine, when I started working in this field, as a money multiplying mindset coach. This is what I'm going to help you to do. And when I was explaining what I was doing, and that was right in the beginning, I just did that transition from my career, which I was in there for 13 years, and I just decided I'm going to start doing my own thing, and I'm going to start into a business. I'm going to buy you this franchise, etc., etc. And she called me and says, like, would you like to go to have a cup of coffee and tell me, like, what is it you're doing? And I explained what I was doing, with no intention of selling, right? No intention of selling her my service. I was just like really happy that we had this time and catching up and all this. And when I finished, she asked me, so how much is that? Give her my price. And she was like, oh, okay. And like, I mean, we had like nice conversation. She left, contacted me about half an hour later, and she says, hey, I want to do it. And she said, I want to do this with you now because I know that later on I'm not going to be able to afford it. And I was thinking at the time, I was just like, she says, you're going to be out of price for me. And I was just, I remember it because that feeling is still very vivid in my mind when she told me that. That was like the impression that she had of the type of service that I'm providing, or the type of service I would provide. But that was a great compliment that she gave me. Good morning, Cindy. Carla is here. Naverida, Natalia, Julio Cesar, Lauren. Good morning. Good morning. Give me an emoji, give me a hi. And as well, where are you coming from in the world, so that people can see as well how many people, how much that we are connecting from all over the world. And she says, I'm going to do this with you right now because later on, I'm not going to be able to afford you. And the truth is, if she would have taken this for granted, that I'm going to be there all that time, and yeah, she'll be able to pay me later on. She'll be able to pay my service later on. Well, she would have not taken advantage of the opportunity and the fact that I was there and I was teaching in that way at the time. So imagine that. Because most of us are doing the same mistakes. We taking things for granted. We believe that everything's going to be there. We can wait and we can wait. Nah, I'm going to do this in the future. Then the future is going to be fine. Tammy just joined. Good morning. Marianne is in Copenhagen. Natalia, I think she's in Cancun, if I'm not mistaken. Pompano Beach, Florida. Love it. Now, how many times are you taking everything you have in your life for granted? The fact that you can go to a coffee place and get a nice cup of cappuccino, right? With soya milk, made with love, like with very beautiful and nice coffee, really tasty. Because every morning when I'm going there and I'm having my cortado with soja, it is so well done. I absolutely love it. And the croissant they're having there, which my wife called it croissants. I was like, well, that doesn't mean the same thing, but we'll deal with it. It is so freaking delicious. One of the best croissants that I've ate in my life. Well, if I'm taking this for granted, I'm not gonna enjoy everything that is there. I was listening to one of my colleagues this morning, was talking about that his gym just opened back again. 16 weeks without going to the gym, and he was going to the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning. 5 a.m. in the gym, not like waking up at 5. So that means that he had to wake up at 4. And he was saying that he was so out of whack and was really like lagging into the amount of weight that he could push, which normally, no, he was going to the gym very early, on point. Like, we are taking so much what's happening in our life for granted that we're not realizing all the opportunity that is right there, all the possibilities that we have in our very circle, in our very surrounding. We're not taking advantage of the possibility that I can better myself just by the click of a button. I can better myself. I can invest in myself and multiply my results by 2, 3, 4, 10, just because I'm investing in myself. Or you're saying, I'm fine where I am right now. I'm good. I can do this later. Like I'm doing a little bit of stuff here. No, I'm already doing on my, every time you're doing things on your own, you're doing things out of the things that you already know. You don't see the blind spot. I was just on a call prior this with my mentor, and he came on the call, which basically, like, you know, I'm teaching a group of people, and he came on the call to assist and just to talk a little bit about where we're going and what we're doing. And I was listening to him, and it was so fascinating to see the way he was seeing it from a different angle, from a different point of view, which was totally, it was a blind spot for me. I didn't see those things the same way. And that is the reason why you're having someone by your side. This is why Michael Jordan, the best basketball player in all time, needed Phil Jackson to win 6 championships. And if he would have followed Phil Jackson in LA, he would have probably win another 5. That is how good, and this is how important it is to have someone to direct you. Because before Phil, Michael Jordan never won a championship. Phil Jackson was the coach that was able to put everything together to bring a championship into his life. But if you take only your skill, but like, I'm good. Like, I can do this. And you take your skills for granted, and you don't have someone that can really direct those skills and really point out where is your blind spot and how can you get better? How can you do this faster? You're not going to get to the point where you want to go. Well, you might go to the point where you want to go, but it might take you way longer, way more effort, and ultimately cost you way more pain. If this is the path that you want to take, good. But how much, and if you listen to that documentary with The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, look at the biggest deception in Michael Jordan is we could have won a 7th one. That is his biggest deception. He wanted to have the team stick together and be able to go for another one. And he said it, and I think that's episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. And he says it, if Scotty would have come back, if Dennis would have come back, like if all those players would have come back, he said, maybe we wouldn't have won, but we had a shot. And nowadays, 23 years later, it's still painful to him. So it's when you're taking things for granted and you're losing those things that now you realize that maybe I should have tried a little bit harder. Maybe I should have tried a little bit different. That is why that you want to have someone to guide you through this. And this someone might not be me. Like, you know, I'm not saying that you have to hire me, but you're here right now, you're listening to this. So there's probably a reason why. There's probably, maybe I can be of service to you and I can help you to get to where you want to go. And if you've been following me a little bit, you've seen some of my clients' testimonial. You've seen some of the people around me like sharing what it did for them. And that's truly that's what a guide, a coach, a mentor is doing. And if you're taking this for granted, well, this is where that's maybe where the mistake is. So I've seen there's other people that have been joined. Just drop an emoji into the comment box. Say hi, tell me where you're from in the world. I see Carlos from somewhere in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, on the West Coast, like close to the ocean, actually. Culiacan, Eric Jackson. Hey, brother, how you doing? Roberto Monterrey, Maria Quiros. I don't know where she's from. Sharon is here. Michael Paxson. Good morning, everybody. Very, very happy that you can connect with me. Again, drop me a little emoji, say hi, give me a thumbs up, ask a question if you do have one. I've got a few more minutes. I love my Mondays. This morning was awake very early, went running, beautiful. Oh, by the way, like I'm talking about something for granted. Like here in this area, they've decided that if you decide to walk in the street, you need to put a mask in your face. And I was just like shaking my head, and I was running like early in the morning, and I saw like some other people like which was running as well, no mask, and I was just, I'm not gonna run with a mask. Are you kidding me? So I didn't, but I was not the only one. Like there was a bunch of people I crossed, and nobody has masks. But are you taking this for granted as well? The fact that we were free, you could walk on the street without like society or whatever telling you that you have to put a mask in order to protect yourself. Like I'm always very leery when someone tells me that I have to do something to protect myself. This is always a little weird. No, if you want to protect yourself, do what you have to do. But yeah, a little bizarre. George, good morning. Evie from Baja California Sur. I hope you guys are doing spectacular. No comments, no questions. Well, I think that this is what's gonna wrap it up then. If there's nothing, thank you for tuning in. Make sure that really you're looking at your life and you're realizing how lucky you are to be here. Like if you start making the calculation on the chances for you to be who you are, where you are, is 1 in a trillion. Actually, I think it's more than that. It's 1 in 14 trillion, something like that. The odds are very, very, like, yeah. I mean, the odds are so slim for you to be who you are. Are you taking this for granted? Or you are doing the very best that you can to become the very best version of yourself every single day. That is your duty. This is what you're here for. You're here to expand this humanity. You're here to really live an expansive life, meaning you need to expand yourself. You need to expand your potential. That is the reason why you're here. I hope this resonates with you and you're not and will not take what you have in your life for granted. Have a spectacular week, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.